All right, fam, what's going on? So I'm really bugged out about this, but this is one of the cons that you have when you are I don't know, a person that is that has influence. You could be a person that springs out truth, a podcaster, maybe even a movie star or athlete, or I'm trying to think, prolific athlete. But certain people like these, they're gonna have similar problems. Some people. Now, for some reason, the news didn't want to say this woman's name, okay? But the one, she was a very famous podcaster. She was doing a lot of her content on Clubhouse. She was she was married, and her mother was living in with her and her husband in a town called Redmond, Washington. And I saw this off Seattle Fox News. So, right there, it's more than likely a suburban Seattle, town, Redmond, Washington. Looks like it's a very cozy town, very nice city. I've been to Seattle a couple of times. Very pretty up there. Expensive, but very pretty. Got an aunt live up there and everything. But this guy, 36-year-old Ramin, he was a stalker. This guy came up from Texas and at one point had killed her husband. Now, her mother was in the house, but she got away and she called the police, and the police had caught up with this guy, okay? Now, the guy came from Texas. She filed a restraint order against this man because something about she was complaining to the courts out there in Redmond, Washington, that she was calling her like 100 times a week. Okay, it could be like 10 to 15 times a day. Left gifts in front of her house. Even had a band to come over, and to play music, but he called it off. Now she had some other fans. I guess they were well wishers that had left gifts over as well, but not at the magnitude that this guy did that. Okay, he shot himself right after he shot the couple. The police had tried to revive him. Like they showed up, he was still alive, but he died on the scene. Okay. Um, a couple of things. I know there was a couple of guys that on here that I had a problem with. Okay. And yeah, there may have been some beef, but I don't think that I'm gonna get to that extreme where I'm just gonna show up at somebody's house uninvited. Okay. Now I'm not gonna lie that I have challenged people. Okay, that if they really want to debate, we can maybe meet in person, or if they did talk smack, then we could actually meet up and let's talk about it like men. Okay, that's just my approach. Okay, I've challenged about 4 or 5 people, and they all had stood down, just like I thought they would. Okay, just like I thought you'd do it. Okay, I'm not the type of guy that's going to get other people in my business or whatever. Okay, or uh, get the police or do anything like that unless I have loved ones and all that, okay, are affected by it, and then that's going to happen. For me doing these videos, that happened to me one time, okay, where somebody ended up banging on my window about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, doing these videos about 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning, okay, but I promise you though, and I said this before, y'all, you know who you are, and it won't happen again. I promise you that, okay? That, but let me say this, okay, before I'm going to get back to that in a second, that you guys, hey, they got the Second Amendment for a reason. So you may want to provide yourself some type of protection to a fault. I know the police can't do but so much for you. It may not always be, times where you can get to that gun, but at least you'll have somewhat of a chance. Okay. But I make you guys this promise. You already know what the deal is if you show up at my house. And I'll say this. If you come near my house again like that, it won't happen again. Just put it like this. The outcome is going to be very different. You come to my house acting funny or try to come in my house uninvited, I'm going to knock your head off. Okay? Guaranteed. All right? Have your body in a bag and everything. Like Jay-Z said, I'll detach you. Mind from spirit, body and soul. Put your body in a hole, okay? I'll put you in a bag, put your body in a hole. You know who you are, okay? But I think with success, y'all, on a more serious note, there's a price to pay for success. I think there's a lot of well-wishers, but you do have a lot of haters. You do have a lot of people, you may have a couple of stalkers even, okay? For example, there was somebody who was telling me about Michael Jordan, all right, that I had in my car, that he did a golf classic out in Las Vegas. They had kids following this guy, because he plays, golf, and he participates in I think it's a Michael Jordan Invitational. Them kids be following this guy around to every hole in the golf course all day long. And I was told that he didn't really give autographs, so he set aside a time, like in a backstage, where he gave certain kids autographs and that type of stuff. Okay? That kind of thing. All right? But you'll be amazed on actually how many stalkers that you really have. All right? So, I don't know. Is this the part of that, success that you really want? If you want to be a famous podcaster, high risk, high reward. So let me know what you think about the video, y'all. Thank you for your time. My condolences go out to their family, and let me leave you with this. I told you guys before, more than likely, a lot of these podcasts or whatever, the lives that they live or the lives that they betray themselves is not the life that they really live, okay? You may be surprised, okay, that they may look like they're living in a house, but they could end up leaving and staying with their mom or something, okay? Have cars be parked, cars that they rented and end up leaving in the Uber, okay? Because a lot of them, they do work for the government and they have sponsors. And again, they could live a life that they're pretending to live and they really don't live that life. And a lot of them are very condescending. Let me tell you, a lot of these podcasters, again, they're government employees, and when they're done with you, they're done with you, okay? There's the people that are listening to my videos that are podcasters, all right? Remember that.